Hello, what's going on guys? So today we're bringing you a brand new episode of the big Minecraft build. This episode we're bringing you Nom from the Cut the Rope iPhone game. I think it's only on iPhone, it might be on other things, I don't know. I just saw this, really liked it, saw it on Pinterest for anyone that's interested. So let's get straight into things. You only need 4 materials and it's not that much of like a hard build, so let's go straight into things. Okay, so the 4 materials you're going to need to make this build are as follows. So we want to go with lime hardened clay, green clay, black wool and white wool. So we want to start off with the black wool, and we just want to go wherever you want to make the build and go ahead and place the block, so you can kind of see where I had a little attempt before. So I'm going to place down the first block here, and what we want to do is we want to go right of this block by 3. So 1, 2, 3. We then want to do a top right diagonal. I'm going to have to quickly take my hoodie off. Well, no, not my hoodie. I've got the hood of my dressing gown up, but I mean, it was getting a bit hot. I'm probably going to take my headset off as well, so I don't actually need that. My face was getting too claustrophobic. So we go up by this diagonal, and then we want to do one more diagonal, and we want to go up by it by 2. So 1, 2. We want to go down, so we want to leave this now and go to the bottom block here. And what we want to do is do a bottom right diagonal, and we want to follow this line across by an additional 6. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. My freezer in the background has just turned on. If you can hear that, I apologise. Shouldn't be too bad because I've fiddled with the settings on my mic, so it shouldn't be as bad. So now we want to do a top right diagonal, and we want to go up by 2. Again, like this one, we want to ignore it and just carry on going from the bottom here. We want to do a bottom right diagonal from here, and we want to do one more bottom right diagonal. Then we want to come across from this last block by 4, going to the right. So 1, 2, 3, 4. We then want to do a top right diagonal, followed by 3 blocks going on top. 1, 2, 3. We want to go down 1 block, so we're going to ignore the top one. And from this block, we want to go right of it by 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and finally 5. We then want to do a top right diagonal, this time followed by 1 going on top. And then we want to repeat that pattern 1 more time. So top right diagonal, 1 on top, followed by a top left diagonal, followed by 2 coming to the left of that. Now at the end of this row of 3, we want to do, at the end, we want to do a bottom left diagonal, but then we want to ignore that, go back up to this block here, and on top of this, we want to go up by 6 blocks. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Should be 6 there. And on top of this, we want to go left of it by 3. So 1, 2, and 3. So if we zoom out, this is the start of like the body. We're going to go down with the face now, and then we're going to go up and do the rest of it. So what we want to do now is we want to do a bottom left diagonal, followed by 1 going to the left, and we want to repeat this pattern an additional 3 times. So bottom left diagonal, 1 going to the left, 2, and finally 3. So in total it should look like this. You should have 4 of these blocks like so. Now finally we want to do a bottom left diagonal, and we want to go left of it by an additional 4. So 1, 2, 3, and 4. We then want to do a top left diagonal. We want to go left of it by 3. And we want to repeat that pattern again. So we want to do another top left diagonal. And we want to go left of it by 3 again. So now we have the kind of shape of here. We're going to go around this side, and then we're going to add the teeth quickly. And then we can head on to the other side and do the other top there and do the top of the head. So now we have this kind of row of 4 here. We want to do 1 going on top of the last block, 1 going to the left of that, a top left diagonal, like so, a bottom left diagonal, like, oh, that has just completely butchered that. No, I've again butchered that. There we go. So top left diagonal, followed by a bottom left diagonal, and from this block we want to go left of it by 3. So 1, 2, and finally 3. And then we want to do, on the end of this last block here, we want to go down by 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and finally 5. The end of this last block, we're going to do like we did up there. We're going to do a bottom right diagonal. Ignore that. Go to the other side where we placed this last block. We want to go left of it by 1. Do a bottom left diagonal. Go down of this block by 2, like so. Do a bottom right diagonal. Go down by 1. Then we want to go across by an additional 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Now at the end of this block, what we want to do is we want to quickly just go up by, on the end of here, by 2 and leave it. Then we want to do a bottom right diagonal just to connect these two bottom ones together. And if we zoom out quickly, we can see that that just quickly makes kind of like the bottom of his head. Now what we're going to do quickly is add the bottom 2 teeth. So if we go to where we did these like row of 4 going down here, we want to go to the third one up. We want to go to the right block of this, and we want to go down by 1, do a bottom left diagonal, go down by 1, do a bottom left diagonal, go across by 3 like so, and that should line it up to there. Now we want to do the other side, so we want to have this first row of 4 that we have here. So with this big row of 4 here, we want to go to the third one in from the right. We want to go 1 block down, do a bottom right diagonal like so. We want to go left of it by 3, 1, 2, 3. Do 2 top left diagonals, 1 and 2, and that should bring you back up to here. So that's the first front 2 teeth. Now we can kind of crack on with the rest of the head. So where we have this 1 block here just kind of sticking out, we want to carry on going from here. We want to do a top left diagonal, followed by 1 going to the left, 3 top left diagonals, so 1, 2, and 3. This time we want to go from here down to a, so if we do a top left diagonal from here, then we can just connect this block down to there. It's probably the easiest way of doing it. So that leaves the top left tooth, and we can just carry on doing the rest of the head from here. So right into the top of this corner, we want to do a top left diagonal, followed by 1 going on top. We then want to do 3 top left diagonals, so 1, 2, and finally 3. Now on this third block, we want to go up by 1, do a top left, right diagonal, sorry. We want to go right of it by 1. Then we want to do a top right diagonal, followed by 1 going to the right, 1 going on top, sorry. And then we want to do 3 top right diagonals, so 1, 2, and 3. Now on this last one, we want to go right of it by 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So now what we want to do, at the end of this row here, we want to do a bottom right diagonal, followed by 1 going onto the right, 2 bottom right diagonals, 1 and 2. And we're going to start going back up again. We want to do 3 top right diagonals, 1, messed up, 1, 3. There you go. I got there in the end. I couldn't count, but I got there in the end. Now on the edge of this block, we want to go right of that by 4. So 1, 2, 3, and 4. We then want to do 3 bottom right diagonals. So 1, 2, and 3. Now kind of the end of this block here, we want to go down by 1, do a bottom right diagonal, like so. We want to go right of it by 1, do a 3 bottom right diagonals. So 1, 2, and 3. Now bear with me 2 seconds. All good, sorry, I had to leave the party. So then we go down by these 3. I don't know if he said anything. I don't know. But anyway, so we go down by these 3. Now the end of this block here, we want to do exactly the same as we just did a minute ago and drag it all the way down to the bottom until it connects with the corner of this one here. So that connects with that one there. Then there's a few more details here to do the last tooth. So if we come over to this far left block of the kind of raised one here, we want to go 1 on top. Then we just want to do 3 top right diagonals just to kind of connect them back up like so. 1, 2, and finally 3. So if we zoom out now, what the shape that we have is the 4 teeth at the bottom. We kind of have the feet. We've got the shape of the eyes that we need to fill in, and then the antenna kind of thing that he has at the top. So if we go up to the top, we'll do the kind of antenna thing first. So we want to go to these the left top corner before it dips in. We want to do a top right diagonal, like so. On top of this, and then one more top right diagonal. And on top of this block, we want to go up by 2, 1, 2. We want to do a top right diagonal. This time going up by 1. A top right diagonal going right by 2. A bottom right diagonal. This time going down by 1. A bottom left diagonal. Going left by 1. Bottom left diagonal. Going down by 2. 1, 2. Then at the end of this, going across to the right by 2 just to join it back up like so. Now if we now we need to do the eyes. So the easiest part is probably going to this side, and we want to go down when we had these two, where it goes kind of two top, two to the side, two top. We want to go where it says where it goes two to the side, and from this block here we want to go down by 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. We then want to do 4 bottom right diagonals. So 1. Oh my god, I'm so bad at this. 2, 3, and finally 4. Now at the end of this fourth one, we want to go right of it by 4. So 1, 2, 3, and 4. We then want to do a top right diagonal, followed right by 1, a top right diagonal, one more top right diagonal. Oh, did I do that? No, I didn't. Top right diagonal, followed by 1 going on top. Then we're going to leave that there for now, go down and do a bottom right diagonal, followed by another bottom right diagonal, this time with 1 going to the right. Bottom right diagonal, this time with 3 going to the right. 1, 2, 3. A top right diagonal with 1 going to the right. 2 top right diagonals, so 1 and 2. This time, this one here, we want to go 1 on top, a top right diagonal. And this time what we want to do is just drag this block all the way up to connect to here. Now the last thing that we really need to do is do the eyes. So what we want to do is take the white wall, place 4 blocks on top of this kind of extended bit that we have here. Take out the black wall. Now the top 3 of these white we want to layer with black, and we want to layer it 2 times each side. So I mean, it's hard to kind of explain what I'm doing, it's easier to just watch. Now if we zoom out, this is the kind of where we're at the moment. So all we need to do now is take the green hardened clay, add a little bit of detail with the clay, and then it is just filling in. So if we go to the antenna first, what we want to do is where we have this block of 2 missing here, we want to take the dark wall, place 2 there, drag this line all the way up and do 1 going to the right, so it has that kind of zigzag kind of shape. Then the next one we want to do is we want to go to the corner of this tooth. So we want to go to this corner here, in between basically this tooth and this tooth. We just want to do that corner and that corner with this clay. We then want to come to this big line here, to this empty gap, and all the way lining the bottom of there. We then want to come up to this kind of right leg, and what we want to do is we kind of want to come over to this gap, place 1 block there, place the lining of there, go 1 to the right of it, and then in that corner there. It's harder for me to kind of explain it. If I just kind of look at it afterwards, you can kind of pause the video and get an idea, but I'll kind of talk the way through it. Then what we want to do, this one's quite easy. All we need to do is go from this corner and just do double like zigzags across until it hits the main wall, like so. So it should be 4. And what we want to do is we just want to fill in all of this leg with this dark and hardened clay. So we just fill that in with the clay there. I had a little bit of a voice crack, but we'll ignore that. The next one we want to do is this line here. Is literally on this bottom line. We will want to layer it by 2 of this clay. Now the last one is in this far corner. What we want to do is on top of this block here, on top of this kind of extended leg, we want to add 1 clay on top, go left of it by 2, go up by 1, and then do 1 in this gap, and then fill in all of this bottom leg with the clay like so. So fill that all in with the clay. So let's zoom out and see what detailing we've got at the moment. So that should be all of the detailing done. Now all that's left to do is take the lime green, fill in all of this section and this section here, and then that little bit at the top and the little bit top of the antenna. Take the white wool out, do the eyes, and then white wool again just to do the 4 teeth that are dotted there and that little gap there. So I'm going to fast forward the video. It shouldn't be too hard for you to kind of comprehend that. So I'm going to fast forward the video while I do so. There we have it, guys. So that is the 100% completed Nom from the game Cut the Rope. I mean, you can have a little play with the colours. I think it looks pretty good though. You could have a play with maybe adding maybe a kind of like a lighter green. I wanted to add lime wool, but I think that's too light. I think these colours worked pretty well. That's going to round things up for this episode. If you have any suggestions, as always, leave them down in the comments below. Thank you very much for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and we'll see you in the next episode.